Well, on the road to the White House, Vice President Kamala Harris enlists Oprah Winfrey's help to gain voters.
And former President Donald Trump's campaign is now battling anti-Semitism. Let's get right to Good Day's Robert Moses. He joins us in studio with the latest events on the campaign trail. Robert, good morning.
Shani and Dan, good morning to you. Former President Donald Trump warned that Israel will be wiped off the face of the earth, his words, if he doesn't win. He called himself the best friend Jewish Americans have ever had in the White House. And in light of that, he questioned why any Jewish voter would not vote for him.
If I don't win this election, the Jewish people would have a lot to do with the loss.
Former President Donald Trump made those comments at a campaign event in Washington last night focused on attacking anti-Semitism. He made no mention of North Carolina's Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, the Republican nominee for governor in that state, who the former president has endorsed and who, according to a CNN report, once called himself a black Nazi on a pornographic forum and defended slavery. In a video posted on X, Robinson denied making the comments.
Let me reassure you, the things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson.
Robinson, who spoke at the Republican convention in July, vowed to stay in the race. His continued presence threatens to make North Carolina a more difficult state for former President Trump to win. In a statement, the Trump campaign did not mention Robinson by name, but did say President Trump's campaign is focused on winning the White House and saving this country, and called North Carolina a vital part of that plan. The former president has called Robinson one of the great leaders in our country.
This is Martin Luther King on steroids.
A spokeswoman for Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign emphasized former President Trump's past praise for Robinson and said Donald Trump has a Mark Robinson problem. Yesterday, the vice president appeared with Oprah Winfrey in Detroit. She made headlines for discussing her gun ownership.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes, I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that. But my staff will deal with that later. Yeah.
And Vice President Harris will campaign in two battleground states today, those being Georgia and Wisconsin. And at this hour, former President Trump's campaign has not released his schedule for the day as of yet. Shani and Dan, back to you.